guys, we have a live today with Jared for a mental health check-in, so let me grab him.
Is it working?
Hello.
Hello there.
Look at your hair. It's all gone.
It's all gone. I couldn't. I was sick of taking care of it. So
Who actually did you actually go to a salon or did you just do it?
no, I went to the one place that was open. I went to Supercuts.
Well, were they at least safe over there? Like really safe?
Yeah, safe enough. Safe enough for me not to be concerned. Also, I was tired of my hair, so I was just like, you know what? Just gonna cut it.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I mean, I do my own, but I want to do like a whole new fun hairstyle, and I can't do that until I'm supposed to be getting the vaccine. I've been eligible for like over a month. It's just ridiculous.
Well, that's awesome, but of course, logistics of it are probably crazy and whatnot. So
Yeah, it's hard to get it. It's like to get an appointment, but my doctor's office gets it, so he's like, all right, I'm gonna hopefully 2 to 3 weeks. I'm like, hopefully,
nice.
I would like my life back soon.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that for sure.
Have you been? Where are you guys over there with it? Like, what?
It's going slowly, but it's going. I know some of Jessica's family members have gotten the vaccine now, and then my mom just got the vaccine, so that's good. And I think it's slow progression, but like slowly but surely they're rolling it out. So eventually we'll all be good and safe, and hopefully soon things will find a new state of normal, you know?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Long over a year. Hi, Charlie.
Hello there.
Charlie. So how have you been doing otherwise?
I've been doing okay. I mean, you know how it is. There's ups and downs. Some days are good, some days are bad. Some days you're just sick of being inside and you need to change. You need something different. Some days are good. Some days I'm doing great. Here lately I've been lucky enough to have some good days, but you know, it's one of those things where even when you're having a good day, there could be someone else that's down, and so I've just been doing my best to take care of family and friends, and it's been going. You know those times where it's kind of just going. The days seem to just flow together.
Yeah, I don't even know what day.
I don't even know what day it is anymore. It's like today's Friday, right? But like every day just feels the same. It's like there's no change. The other day, Jessica and I, our sleep schedule's atrocious. It's god awful. Our sleep schedule is terrible. So if I wake up anytime before 2 p.m., it's like mind blowing to me. Like that's the biggest difference in my day. If I wake up before 2 p.m., my day is good. But if I wake up anytime after that, which is usual, I'm like, where's all the time gone in the day?
Well, you go to bed late.
So... We do go to bed late, so that's something. But yeah, things have been going. They've been good, all in all. All things considered. You know, it's funny. Here lately, my biggest mental struggle hasn't even been with like the pandemic.
Right.
It's more of like, actually, I guess it is kind of, it's what comes after, and like, what do I want to do? Where do I want to go? What is Jared? So I've been trying to figure out like what I want to do with myself, and that's been fun.
I get it. I get it. It's weird. It's a weird time for all of us, for everybody. And but you have the type of mentality we have. You have anxiety, and when you feel like I don't even know sometimes if it's the cats. I don't even know sometimes if it's like with myself too. Like I know some of it's pandemic, but it's also personal.
Yeah.
Like what am I doing next? Where's
Yeah.
it's almost scary for things to get back to normal because you feel like how many
We're gonna have a cat for a little while.
does the cat have anxiety he's pacing?
Actually, funny. I think I may or may not have told this story before. So my cat Lily, I got Lily when my anxiety and depression was at its like worst, and she has always been there for me. So whenever I have a panic attack, whenever I get bad anxiety, whenever Jessica gets anxious, whenever anything happens, like if there's even the slightest hint of sadness or anything, the cat is there magically, like right in your face, like just ready to comfort you. She purrs, she meows, she screams at you until you feel better, and then she just sits there with you. And it's weird because usually she's like always misbehaving, but Lily, she's always misbehaving and rioting. But and as soon as you are like not feeling well, she's right there by your side and does not leave. She refuses to leave. I'll like try and throw her out, but then well, not try and throw her out, but like she'll be doing something weird, and then she'll just come right back.
Oh, that's sweet. That's nice though. That's good to have that. Animals are awesome, man. It's like,
Yeah.
I miss Bella when it comes to that. Losing an animal during a pandemic is like
Yeah.
so, but yeah, they're such they're like mini non-talking therapists, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, they can always tell when you're down and like something's wrong. I've heard stories of like the animals have told my friend they're pregnant, all types. It's crazy. Cats though, honestly, it's dogs too, but a lot of cat stories when cats, I don't know, they're maybe they got some crazy intuition, I don't know.
Maybe. But yeah, how have you been? How have things been treating you of late?
Things have been kind of like you, ebbs and flows. I have some like horrendous days and some good days. I had, with the medical stuff, that just recently like went into like emergency mode chaos again. So like that was threw me like totally backwards, and I was feeling horrible. And then I was like back and forth, ER, no ER, ER, no ER, doctor, no doctor, this, that. So it's just I don't it's just I'm exhausted.
I totally understand. It's like I feel like I haven't been able to breathe. I haven't been able to take time for myself. I haven't been able to like actually relax in so long. I feel like I'm just always running on empty.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
just been one thing after another. And if it's not one thing, if it's not one thing, it's another. It always is, and it always will be. That's just how life is. But it's been, it's been going.
Yeah, it's just it just gets to a point where it's like you almost like you feel claustrophobic in your own space, and
Yeah.
kind of
We've been we've been in our own space for so long, it doesn't even feel like our space anymore. Is that weird to say? It's like home is home because like you leave and come back. But the fact that we've been just inside for so long, there's no like I don't know, it doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel homey.
yeah, it's funny because people are like, oh, I can't wait to get back to normal, and then there was like this joke that we're saying get back to normal, we're all gonna be like, I don't feel like going out. I'm just gonna stay home. But
Yeah.
then there's the opposite of it, like you're not even gonna want to like look. Like you said, it doesn't feel home anymore. Like when we come home from something, it was like, oh, home, my bed, my couch.
Yeah.
Like now it's like my bed, my couch. It's like you just see the same thing like 24 hours a day. So it's like my bed, my couch, the kitchen. I don't even know what to eat anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. But all in all, things have been pretty good. It's one of those things where I've just been taking things one day at a time and trying my best to stay positive and you know, work on as not work on myself because that's such a weird thing to say, but like just work, do things, keep my mind distracted. I'm trying to be productive towards something has been helpful lately. Of course, you know how things are. It's like we've said, there's always your ups and downs. There's your good days, there's your bad days. Here lately for me, I've been struggling a lot with self-confidence and self-esteem and just, this trying to
There's nothing wrong with this.
that in my head there is.
I get it.
So I've just been, trying my best to build confidence and accept myself and, have just live.
Yeah, I get it. It's hard. It's I think with our mental health, we go through the anxiety, depression, and then self-esteem, self-confidence. And then you're hyper aware of every single thing, and then there's so many stages through mental health wise. It's just such a cycle. It's like it's always always something, whether it's old or new. It's just always something to be. I think we have time to think. We're not
Yeah,
else
that's
like
kind of, I think we're left alone with our minds for so long right now that we're just having so much time to think about things that maybe you thought about before, but you weren't able to think about as much. And it's been difficult, but we keep going. And I've been like kind of trying to not stress this, but say like say I talk about it a lot. It's like especially when I'm streaming and whatnot, like talking to people and they come to stream. It's just like I want hi Lily. I just want people to know that like they're not alone, and it's hard. Some days are difficult, and but we get through it, and we keep going, and we keep persevering, and that's just how things are. But some days are always going to be difficult, and when you're having those difficult days, it's good to know that you're not alone, and you have friends and people that care about you, and people that understand how you feel. I recently set up a like mental health chat or mental health category on my Discord. So if anybody's feeling down, if anybody has anything they need to talk about and they don't feel comfortable saying it to somebody that in their like close circle or whatever, they can just put it on the Discord and just talk for a little bit with friends, people that are friendly, and this like community of people that are not judging and understand what it's like to struggle. So that's been nice to like see people opening up and being comfortable and being able to talk about their feelings, to talk about how they are, because like that's something that's always been important to me. It's like if you're struggling, there's people out there that care about you and want you to talk about it and want you to feel better. So like don't hide it. Don't do what I did. Don't bottle it all up and let it get to a boiling point, like, or a cracking point. Just there's people out there that care about you, and you're not alone. There's people that understand, and even if they're not in your immediate circle, there's people out there. You can find people, and it's that's super important. So there we go. There's little rant.
that's great. That you created it for like a meeting place host for my podcast, and good at it. And it's great that that's there, because I mean I think people need that. We always tell people come to us through email and DMs and mentoring and stuff like that. Sometimes everybody's unique and different in what they need. Work than a one-on-one. Sometimes it's like that, and I think it's great available, and people are actually, there's just not enough of people, it seems, to be talking about mental health enough a lot. And I just it saddens me, because we're all of a lot of people, even the ones that didn't have mental health issues, are struggling.
Yeah.
And they have them now. you know, and then those of us that had them are regressing or having, you know, issues that we were somewhat had under better control or were doing better with. I mean, I know I was until this started. I wasn't.
I feel that. I feel that. It's like I felt like I was getting better, but now I felt like it's one of those things where you take one step forward and two steps back. And I feel like I'm slowly making progress forward, but every time I make a step forward, I also take a step back. So it's like slow going. I do know there's one good thing that's come out of everything. I mean, you know me.
Yeah.
I can't watch myself. I don't like watching myself. It's hard for me to actually like watch myself and enjoy it. And here lately, Jessica and I have actually been rewatching, or Jessica and I have been watching Once Upon a Time. Jessica's rewatching it. I'm watching it for the first time pretty much. And it's actually like, it's funny how like, I was talking to my family the other day. I was talking to my sister, and she's like, holy shit, Jared. That's like such a big thing that you're watching Once Upon a Time and enjoying it. Like, that's huge for you. I'm so proud. And I was like, I didn't think about it until just now. It's like, it is a big thing for me to actually sit back and watch the show and enjoy the show because of how much, like, because I have so many fond memories of being on set, and like all of these wonderful and amazing memories and are coming back to me watching the show. And like, I'm proud of what the show is. And sure, I'll watch it and I'll criticize myself and I'll say, oh, I acted in that scene terribly, or I didn't do my best, or I would have changed this or changed that. But like, I'm actually watching the show back and I'm happy with it. Like, it's a good show that I enjoy, that it's actually fun to watch. Like, aside from the fact that I'm in it, like, it's actually an interesting show and I'm invested in the plot, which is kind of amazing and mind-blowing to me, because I never thought that would be something I could say, because I never thought I'd be able to sit there and watch it. Right. But it's like bittersweet, because not only am I getting all these fond memories back and like seeing all these people that I worked with and grew up with, like my extended family, it's bittersweet because of course we're in a pandemic. And even if I wanted to reach out, even if I wanted to see these people, I can't. And it's difficult. It's hard. It's like, it's a double-edged sword. And I'm so glad to have the opportunity to have conventions in the future and to be able to see my extended family again, because I do miss them. Like, I learned so much from these people. They're such an integral part of who I am and how I came up. And it's like, it's amazing to me that I'd never watched the show before now. Like, I'd seen bits and pieces of it. Like, I'd seen the finales of each season because we had a watch party for them, or I saw the premiere of each season because we had a watch party for those. But I never watched the show because I was filming it. And now that I'm actually watching the show back, I'm seeing parts of the show that I didn't see before because I wasn't in the scene, or I'm seeing a new way to look at it, you know, like, instead of looking at it as someone who's in it, I can watch it a little bit more like someone who's just viewing it like as a viewer. And it's really interesting and it's fun. And it's also, again, sad because I see all these people that I know and love, Mikey and Lana and everyone. It's good to see them, but it's like you miss them too.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, you know, it's I was watching Mikey and something the other day. Gosh, we're so due to catch up. I feel like I haven't seen people in forever.
It has been, and I mean, it really has been forever. Like, it's like the last time and this is mind blowing to me. The last time I saw Lana and Rebecca was was just a couple months after Jessica and I met. Okay. And like 2 weeks from now is Jessica and I's second anniversary.
What? That long?
Yeah. So we will have been together for 2 years in like a couple weeks. So, and the last time I saw everyone was like probably 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago.
Wow.
And that's like mind blowing to me because I saw these people every day for years. So it's hard to believe that like that's actually how long it's been. It's also hard to believe the show's coming up on its 10th anniversary.
Oh my gosh, I know. It's like,
It's
wow.
like mind blowing to me that the show's literally been. I'm what, turning 21. The show's like literally been a part of my life. I've been a part of the show for half my life,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been a part of me for 10 years, and that's mind boggling. I can't comprehend it. My brain is just. I think that's part of the reason I'm so like I've been struggling with like where I want to go, what I want to do next, where do I want to pursue acting more? Do I want to do something behind the camera? Do I want to keep pushing and keep working at the streaming thing? What does Jared want? Because this pandemic has clouded my vision of what I want. I don't know anymore, which
Yeah.
is so scary to me because before in the past I knew what I wanted. I knew where I was going. I knew what I needed to do to get there. But now I don't know anymore. And that's so scary because for someone who is so organized and logical and pessimistic and realistic, and it's hard to not know where I want to go, what I want to do. And that's kind of been what I've been struggling with lately, is kind of figuring that out and deciding like what are the things I enjoy, what does Jared love, what is Jared like. Because it's funny how you forget those things so easily.
Yeah. It is. No, Jess was telling me you guys were watching it. You were talking about it and you popped in, and I was like, see, I watch myself, but then you said it was because you were little. So you're like, well, I can watch myself when I'm little.
Yeah,
And
I can watch myself because I'm small. It's so alien. That's like little alien Jared. He doesn't. That's like some weird foreign creature. It doesn't exist anymore. It can't hurt me.
you were so young, though. I remember, like, I turned on, I think, like, in the first season, and I was like, he's so little.
I'm so tiny. I was tiny. It,
No, like,
it,
I'm
it
young. Like,
10-year-old Jared, 10-year-old mini me is only there, only on camera. He can't hurt me anymore.
yeah, it's. But I'm glad that you are actually enjoying it and watching it from a perspective of, okay, now I can like sit down, with someone and watch it and enjoy it, and that's something, we do have to be for and that have changed within us during the pandemic. So I think that's something important to try to like keep our minds a little focused on and try to remember, even though we get in the dark times. But I totally get the whole, what do you want to, because I'm kind of in that same position myself in a different aspect, but in the same position.
Yeah.
What do I want to do now? Because I mean, I'm moving to the West Coast and I'm trying to figure out when, and I'm trying to figure out this because it's like from the East to West.
Yeah.
It's not like a couple of states. It's all the way across,
Yeah, all the way across the continent. Not continent.
Yeah.
Continent, literally. It's all the way across the continent, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. So, but it's exciting at the same time, and it's something that I've been wanting to do for a few years. And it's like, this pandemic happened, and then it came up, and my roommate was like, that's like, like,
Yeah.
I was surprised, like, really? Like, I didn't know, there were things like like, sometimes I guess things are just not the right time. There's something blocking it, and I just figured maybe this was kind of meant in a weird way. Wasn't happy with the company I was with. There was just a lot of things going on. So I had major health things going on. Because I remember the last time I saw you in New Jersey when we were all in the restaurant talking.
Yeah.
Said that was the last time that we were actually, I think, any of us were at any event.
Yeah.
I know of, but
it's crazy. It's crazy to me that like that's how long ago it was. And yeah. I mean, like I've said it for a reason. I say this all the time. I think I've said it in every live stream. Everything happens for a reason, even if you don't see it at first. Like even all this bullshit that's going on right now, and it's happening for a reason, and we may not see it now, but we'll get to the other side, and we'll make it, and we're gonna be okay, and that's important to know.
It's true. It's patience. And I just think like so many people are like on the verge of just like bursting. But I remember you saying like being like a lot more sure of what like where you wanted to like in your life and career. So yeah, and then now you were saying like, yeah, the pandemic kind of made
has
that
me questioning it, like has me confused and like not sure where I want to go. Like I've always been like, I mean, always been in the film industry, so I've always been like, oh, okay, I want to be an actor, or I want to be behind the camera. I want to be a cameraman, or I want to work in props or special effects or whatever. I want to stay in the film industry, but now I'm to this point where it's like, I don't know what I want to do. Do I just want to go get a normal person job? But I mean, that's just how it is. It's like, what things?
Ooh.
Sorry.
Okay.
Billy, what are you doing? You have glasses, okay. Sorry. Billy knocked over the cat tree somehow. She's got the zoomies.
She's like, woo!
But I mean, that's how it is.
Lily,
what are you doing?
Hi, Jess.
Hi. Don't.
Lily, stop.
You don't need to eat the small piece of cardboard off the floor.
She's like, Daddy's busy. I'm gonna go crazy.
Yeah, that's about right. Lily.
I tried to get you to sit in my lap. Okay.
She's strange.
Come here.
She's not even sitting in her chair. So we have three. Like there's my desk, there's Jessica's desk, and then there's the cat chair. So I have a chair, Jessica has a chair, and then there's just an extra chair for the cat.
Child.
And she's not even using her chair.
And that's a nice chair for a cat. I mean, that's a nice big chair.
Yeah. But yeah.
But well, we're turning the corner. But, it's funny because a lot of people are saying that like there's still the work to do after the pandemic. Like when we come out, we're not going to all miraculously be phenomenal with our mental health.
Yeah.
And, like we have to consider that like people are going to come out and still struggle. So we still have.
Oh, of course, it doesn't.
Like people are not acknowledging like this is something we still have to deal with even when it's over because everybody has like been falling
magically gotten better. I wish it was just like flipping a switch. Like I honestly do, but it's not, and it's hard to like explain to someone like it's not just gonna go away. It's something that you have to work on and something that you have to you persevere and
yeah.
And it's something that we have to keep working on and going through and improving at and learning what helps and what doesn't and learning just taking things one day at a time, learning what triggers you have and learning what helps, what you need to calm down or to whatever. I think that's so important to learn and to figure out. I know like here lately I've been working on finding my triggers. What triggers my anxiety? What triggers me to have a panic attack? It goes.
What have you used, like tools have you used to combat like when like you're all over the place, like you know what I mean, because you know how we get when we have so like what do you use?
I've learned a couple of ways of coping. I think you've probably heard of box breathing. Like generally, just like I think it's breathe in for 4 seconds, breathe out for 5 or 6, and then or breathe in, hold, breathe out. And that helps me. That's been helping me a lot lately. Like if I'm ever stressed, I just breathe out. I also I keep like free weights around the house. So if I ever am, if I'm ever feeling uncomfortable in my own skin, I just lift some weights, and that helps. That helps a lot for me, especially because like if I'm ever like feeling uncomfortable in my own skin, if I'm ever having like any kind of whatever confidence or anxiety or whatever, I just lift some weights because it gets my head off of or it gets my mind off of whatever it's thinking about. For me, gaming has always been an escape. So like if I'm ever anxious or nervous or scared or whatever it is, I play some games because my brain is so focused on the game, it can't think about all the other stuff. And also, I like fiddling with things. I like playing with things and fidgeting with things and just having something to like mess around with. So like whether it's like pen or pencil or anything. Here lately I'll just like mess with my ring.
Yeah.
And that helps me. That gets me out of my head
Yeah.
just for a minute to break the spiral.
Yeah. No,
There's a question here. It's do you ever feel like you can't step forward anymore and that you just keep stepping back? Yes. I think we all feel that sometimes, especially with anxiety when we're struggling, when you're having a hard time. I know from personal experience that it's like sometimes you feel like you're taking one step forward and two steps back, and that's hard. It really is hard, but you'll make progress slowly. Like I know it feels daunting. I know it feels so heavy and like there's so much weight on your shoulders and things aren't going to get better, but they are going to get better. Everything happens for a reason. Like even if you don't see it at first, we'll get through this. That you're not alone. There's people out there that care about you. There's people out there that feel the same way you do, and it will get better. It may take time, but don't give up. Keep fighting. Believe in yourself. Like it's so important to believe in yourself. It's funny. I've said this before many times. It's like you don't realize the impact believing in yourself has until you actually believe in yourself. Like what it changes in you. It's incredible, and I don't know what it does, but it just gives you this. Just believe in yourself. Believe that you could do anything. Believe that you can get through it, and you're gonna do great.
I agree.
And another question, it would appear, how do you guys find hope in this time? And for me, I find hope in doing things I love and seeing other people do things they love. So even though it's hard, even though we're in these stressful times with the pandemic or anything, even though things have had their ups and downs, things have been stressful and hard and difficult. It's doing the things we love that is going to persevere. That doing the things we love, things we're passionate about, that is what gives me hope. Seeing art and seeing people play games and just seeing people do the things they love, watching television and series and seeing these amazing works of art that have been filmed during all this stuff. Like during the pandemic, these amazing, incredible series have been filmed that are masterpieces in my eyes. And you're seeing actors working on what they love and the crew members who are following all these safety protocols. And it's hard and it's difficult and it's so much different than what the film industry was before. The industry's changed so much, but they're still working. They're still making entertainment for us, and that gives me hope. Seeing that there's people out there working hard, knowing that there's people out there working hard to give us a brighter tomorrow means that's what gives me hope.
Yeah, I mean, and for me, it's a lot of it's just, you know, the people I surround myself with, the people that I talk to, the people that I know, seeing like love and kindness, even though we feel like we still can't find it. Doing things that I enjoy, laughing, talking. I mean, a lot of the stuff that Jared brought up, I mean, is excellent as well. There's things, find things that you enjoy. Out into nature. That will give you like boost that I don't.
Yeah.
Me, it like just it's like a ray came from the sky and just like struck me, and it just like kind of drains my stress, and it just makes me smile, and I just see that, okay, hope's gonna come. It's just gonna, this stuff, things are gonna get better. Just gotta wait till we turn the corner. So there's so many things.
Love perseveres. Like that's what's important to know. Like there's things that will never change. There's things that will stay the same. And I think to a lot of people, what has been so scary about the pandemic is how much change there's been, how different things are. But it's important to know that there's also things that are never going to change. There's things that are going to remain, and that we can find solace and comfort in those things. Now, and there's this new is this Q&A thing new? Totally random question. Is this Q&A thing new? It's great.
Yeah, they have like all these new features. You can have like 4 people in here.
So that's cool.
Yeah, it is.
But aside from that, yes, I've to answer your question, how did you overcome the feeling of depression? And it's hard. Depression is something that is difficult, and it's something that is different for everyone. We have to remember that, like, just because I experienced depression and anxiety and this and that, it's different for everyone. The things that helped me may not help you, but for me, it was important to look to the people I cared about, my family and my friends, and to open up and to find the things that I love, and to find the things that I'm passionate about, and the things that I enjoy. Like, to me, that is so, that was what kind of got me out of the darkness. What pulled me out of the darkness was discovering that there's people that care about me. There's people that love me for who I am, and that there's things that I love. There's things that I enjoy. Like, it's not all just bleak and bad. And you are okay. I'm okay. You're enough. You're perfect. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You're fantastic, just the way you are. And it's so important. I say that all the time. It's like, everyone, just the way you are, is you're wonderful, and you're amazing, and you're fantastic. But like, it's so important to me that people understand, like, they are enough, and they don't need to change themselves for other people. They don't need to make themselves someone they're not. Because I've been through that phase. I tried being someone I wasn't. I tried being popular, and I tried being cliche, and I tried not being myself. And if people won't accept you for who you are, then they're not, if you're looking for friends or whatever, don't change yourself for people. There's people out there, there's friends, there's people out there that you'll connect with and bond with, because they're like you. They share the same interests, the same passions. Like, don't try and fit into we're not all squares, and don't try and be a square, because that's not fun. We don't all need to fit through the certain specific cookie cutter shape. Like, it's okay to have your own loves and passions and whatever. Like, sorry, mini rant, but
no, totally get it, and it's true, and it makes sense.
Yeah,
and it's great advice. I mean, I agree with everything Jack said. And, those affirmations are so important to say, and I mean, me, so many different things I use to get out. There's so many different tools and techniques. A lot of what Jared said, spending time with people that love you, support you, that are never gonna like care to judge you, no matter how bad of a mood you might be in or whatever moment you're having. I find nature helps me. Nature meditation, yoga, I like to cook, art there. I love art. So art therapy or watching something that makes me laugh. There's a lot of things that I find pull me out. And even though you might say like, oh, the next day it's back, it's not going to be overnight. You just got to.
Nothing goes away like that. It takes time, and it takes hard work. I think one part of my problem is I always expect it to just go away like that. Like I expect it to just disappear, but it's not. It's something you have to work on, like something that takes time. Like I get mad at myself very easily because I'm very self-conscious, and I'm very self-critical. So if I do anything, like anything wrong, I get so mad at myself. And I've been trying to get better at it, but it takes time. And it's part of my anxiety lately. It's like it's just self-criticism and whatnot. It just takes time. You have to find out what triggers you. You have to find out what helps you. If you're starting to feel overwhelmed, if you're starting to feel anxious, if you're starting to spiral, just take a second to breathe. Take a second to take yourself out of it and look at things from a different perspective. Sometimes that helps me. It's hard to
It's like self-bullying. We do the whole self-criticism and all that stuff. When we're really hard on ourselves, it's hard to come out of it.
Self-criticism and self-bullying is not a good thing, but it's something so many of us do, and something that I've struggled with for ages now. Like it's so hard, and that's really been, self-bullying has really been like the thing I've struggled with the most over the course of this pandemic. It's been hard to find like comfort in things. It's been hard to find things I enjoy because I'm so critical of myself. So even when I'm doing things I love, I somehow am able to criticize myself for doing those things. And it's just like, why are you doing this to yourself? Games aren't games anymore. Things that used to be comforting aren't anymore. And that's so hard and difficult, and something that I've slowly been working on, but it does take time. Someone also, I've just remembered this popped into my head again. One of the things I use to help get myself out of my head and to help myself with anxiety is I love telling stories. I love writing things. I love making stories and telling stories. And to me, one of the things that always helped me get out of my head was writing or coming up with a story. Just telling a story, like escaping my reality for just a minute, can help so much. Like even if it's just a random idea for a random scene in a random anything, like a book or whatever. I think it's so it's so important to have like a little escape.
Yeah, it is. I love writing too, and that helps me get out of my head. I find that when we just, like we said earlier, it's very need that little thing that kind of just interrupts everything that we're going to get our mind, whether it's or playing our ring or playing or cooking for a second. All the like it's gone for now. So
yeah,
let's art. This like all this comments on art. It's absolutely true. Art is just amazing, and and anxiety and letting your emotions flow and get it out is healthy. You get out all the time. It's good. You have to feel things. They always say when you try to not feel it and let it go through you, it's bad. So it always is. There's a question. What do you do when you feel that things are starting to overwhelm you?
When I start feeling overwhelmed, when I start feeling anxious or whatever, I usually start by breathing, taking a deep breath, relaxing for a second, and trying to get myself out of that fight or flight response. Because part of anxiety is triggering when you're starting to feel overwhelmed and you're getting anxious. Your body triggers its flight or fight response. So part of getting out of your head sometimes is just reassuring yourself that you're safe and that you're okay. You don't need to run. You don't need to fight. That everything is okay. So taking a deep breath and just giving yourself a minute to breathe. Do something you love. Like I said, find something that just breaks that thought process for just a second, whether it's cooking or drawing or writing or whatever it may be. Just find something to and if you don't have a chance, like if you're in the middle of an interview or something or whatever it is, like just find something on your person to mess around with, to fidget with, to fiddle with, whatever it may be. Just take a deep breath, find a way to break that toxic thought process, if that makes sense.
It does, absolutely. And I agree with it 100%. It's there's so many different angles when it comes to
Yeah.
this. So it's just, there's so many ways. Let me see here. Yeah, stepping back and seeing your progress is motivating, because sometimes you need to see, like, well, I've done this, I'm still here, I survived this. So that's
Well, I think that's part of the reason that why it's so I mean, in a sense, therapeutic for me to watch Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
It's easy for me. It's before I couldn't step back and see how far I've come, but now I can step back and watch the show and go, I started here and now I'm here, and it's incredible to see that progress and like to see how far you've come. Like when it comes to art or whatever it may be, like looking at what you first did and what you're working on now is going to be so it's probably like amazing, Jurassic, and it's amazing to like it's so important to sometimes just take a step back and look at things from a different perspective, because sometimes you're so caught in your like mind and your fear and your struggles that you can't look at things from a different point of view. But to some people, like the way I see it is, to me, I'm a terrible actor. I can't. I watch myself and I go, that's awful. That's atrocious. But I have all these people telling me, it's great. It's amazing. You did a wonderful job. And I always heard it, but I never believed it. And that's almost, in a sense, that's kind of selfish. Like, because yes, you're critical of yourself and your opinion matters, but also like you're ignoring what all these people that are respect you and look up to you and are fans of you are telling you. Like it's so important to like it's mind-blowing to me that like I went so long like just kind of not seeing that, I guess you could say. Because whether I think it's good or not, whether I enjoy watching myself or not, there's people that love it, people that look up to me and respect me, and that's important. Like, it's so important.
I mean, like I said, it's good to be happy with your work and like it, but when we're the type of people that are self-critical and we self-bully, we have a habit of getting in that I have to be perfectionist type thing. We're not good critics of ourselves.
Yeah.
I have tons of people say things like in close people and even, and I'm just like, that's not even close to what I told myself. Like I get a totally different like picture than this scene. Like I think we do have to kind of like allow ourselves to take compliments sometimes, even though when it's hard, like no, it's horrible. But like I've tried to learn how to take them and say, even though like
Yeah.
I'm so weird.
I may not believe it, but I need to learn how to accept it.
Right.
And how to take it and say thank you so much. That means the world. That means a lot to me. For me, I think I may have talked about it. I struggle with imposter syndrome. I mean, every artist struggles with imposter syndrome. That fear of being called out, the fear of someone just calling you a fraud, a fake, someone telling you that you're an imposter.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I deserve everything I have. I don't feel like I deserve the admiration people give me, but they continue to give it to me, and it's important. That's so important. And it's also one of those things where it's like, it's important to accept yourself for who you are and be positive and be be comfortable in who you are and to love yourself. Like it seems so like ridiculous to just like say, oh, you got to love yourself. But like, that's actually so important. Like, it's actually what you need. Like, sometimes that's all you need. And it's mind blowing to me.
No, it's, and you know, it's something so simple that we think, oh, this is so easy to do, but it's just our minds are stubborn. Really not. I mean, what did this? Did you get professional help for your? For me, I went into therapy years ago when I first didn't know what the heck was going on. I was like 14 or 15 because I thought I was crazy. And when you go to a psychiatrist to get a diagnosis, you just feel like you're crazy, or especially when you're around people that made you feel like that. I was, but when they told you, it's kind of like a sigh of relief because it's something very common that a lot of people actually do have, and you're surprised because you feel like you're the only one. But I did go to therapy on and off for years. Then I stopped, and during this pandemic, I did have to go back into therapy, and I'm not ashamed.
I personally have not ever gotten. I've never seen a professional. I've talked to a lot of people, but none of them were professionals. I've never suck out. Is that? I've never searched for. Sought out. There we go. Thank you. That is the word I was looking for. Thank you. I am sorry. I've never sought out professional help, but it's something that I feel like one day I will probably seek out. And I feel like I've worked through a lot of stuff on my own because I didn't want to burden people with my struggles. I think it's important to tell people, like, hey, look, if you're struggling with anxiety, if you're struggling with depression, seek out help from your family and your friends because you're not a burden. Like, I thought I was a burden, but instead I was just pushing the people that cared about me and wanted to help away. And that's not good. There's people that love you and care about you and they want to help you. So don't push them away. Like, you need to accept the help that they're offering and they want to give you. So
yeah, you basically just said what I think. I have always had a bad habit of trying. I'm great when it comes to other people. I've always had trouble when it comes to myself. And I've always had this habit of isolating and pushing people away.
yeah.
And, it's like, thank God you do have the people in your life that really do care and love you, because those people don't let you push them away. They might give you space or yell at you, but it's out of love. But I've done. I mean, I've done that during this pandemic. I think we regress in a way, and then we come back into old habits. And it's like I found myself going, wow, like I went on this healing journey so many years ago. Like, let me talk, because even though my friends and people helped, and like a lot of different things helped, because now on Clubhouse, you're not on Clubhouse yet, right?
I know.
Okay. It's a new app, but right now it's invite only. And you actually use your voice to talk. There's no typing. There's no comment. You can invite people up to the stage, or some people could just sit in the speaker section and listen. So I have a BKO club on there. I run a couple of rooms. I do a mental health room. We do an anti-bullying. We have an initiative, which I was going to text you about anyway, so I will talk about that later. But so now we do that on Clubhouse and talk, invite people up that want to talk, and it's really great. Even though there's still trolls and stuff, it's so much better. It's not as bad. It's like a whole different experience. If you're interested, I have invites. I can send you one if you want to check it out.
It sounds interesting. Yeah, it's one of those things.
I'll shoot you an invite for it. And if you could check it out, if you want to go on it, you go on it. If you don't, you don't have to. But it's great. And it's really interesting because I host these chats, and then I've been asked to moderate other rooms. And, it's just, it helps a lot of people. And so many people like get things out and talk things out and say things out, and, but yeah, it's like I found that helps, but I still realized that I needed to speak to a therapist because I was like, I'm not going to go so far backwards that when this is over, I'm going to be like completely down. So
Yeah.
I went to a therapist for a little while and then I stopped and then I might start doing like a group therapy thing. But, you know, these things that we're doing and that like I'm hosting and that I join in on, they're very helpful. And that's another tool. You know, we always tell people who are on Clubhouse, they can come into our room, they can listen or they can speak. You know, we'll have guest speakers sometimes. You know, but it's there's so many there's so many tools. Like you know, Jared and I were saying, there's so many different things to do. So I know we're coming to close to an hour because now we're back to the hour, but um, you know, there's just so many things to do. But you know, like we always say, you're loved, you're special. There's keep going, never give up.
Yeah, keep fighting, keep believing in yourself. Like it's so funny. I'm watching the show again. It's like hope prevails. Good always prevails, and you have to believe in yourself. And that's something that it took. That's something I could take away from the show, from the character I played, from Henry. Believing in those that you love, believing in yourself, like true belief in things will persevere. Like that will prevail in the end. Good will win. You just have to keep fighting. You have to keep going. You're not a burden. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You're fantastic. Keep being yourself. Don't try and be someone you're not. Like it's so important to know that you are perfect just the way you are. Keep going. Keep fighting, and you'll make it through. We all do. We just have to keep going. I know it's hard. I know it's a struggle. I know there's always going to be trolls. There's always going to be people that are trying to get you down. As someone who it's hard because as someone who plays video games like on a daily basis for countless hours, I encounter so many trolls. I encounter people that make it their job, make it their job to make you feel worse about yourself, to make you feel down, to get down on you, and to call you names and call you terrible things that I cannot repeat on here. But in the end, none of what they say matters. You just have to stay strong, believe in yourself. There's people that care about you, and you're gonna make it through this. You're awesome, and you're amazing, and you're wonderful, and keep going, keep fighting. It's so important.
Amen. And I'm gonna leave it at that because everything Jared said, I would just echo anyway. Hi Nina, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. We will.
Yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed our little chat.
Yes, and you know we try to do these regularly, me and Jared. Yeah. It helps us. So, you know, we will be back enough, and so stay tuned until next time. And thank you all for joining, Jared. Thank you.
Of course, thank you.
I will text you because I have a couple of things I wanted to mention to you, and I will send.
Got it.
Awesome. All right, guys.
Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
Right.
See you later. Thank you guys so much.
Bye. Bye, Jess.
Farewell.